because their hips are really tight. But girls tend to do very well with the Sumo because it's going to put more tension in the legs and the hips. Females tend to have more flexible hips, so they can get into some of these positions a little bit easier. It's going to load up the hips and legs a little more without using as much upper body. So what we're going to see, instead of lining up with our feet right underneath our hips, we're going to set up outside our shoulders. Depending on how comfortable you are with the movement, you can go pretty wide. All right, so basically when we look at Sumo, it's anytime your hands go inside your knees. Okay, so a very basic Sumo would be here, and I'm going to point my toes out just a little bit, still lining that bar up over the center of my feet. We're going to get a little more squatty, so we're going to push the knees out, and we're going to get in that spinal neutral, and we're going to sink. All right, so notice how vertical the shins stay. So in that position, I'm just going to reach down as far as I can, try to create tension. Okay, so we have the tension lats, we have neutral, and we're just going to try to sink down. And when we go, so notice, like I still sink back into my hip. When I go to try to create tension, now I sink and bring my chest up. All right, so it's almost like my arm is just straight 90 degrees of the floor, push, and bring the hips up. All right, it looks easier. So depending on how long your legs are, you might be wider than that. So the big thing to be careful is depending, so if you're tall, right, like this might be the case with you, where you might be out here. This is still totally legitimate, okay? Where you'd be able to sink in that position, everything's neutral, we create tension in our upper body, we sink, knees stay out, pull, drive through the floor. If you go that wide, make sure you turn your toes in before you push down. All right? This is also one where we talked about the foot. When we looked at what the foot does under, maybe watch those videos that were on LMS of what happens when the foot is under load. Yeah. So the second one, if you go in, it's the one where basically the feet are flat on the ground. The second video in there is doing a sumo deadlift. So what we see with the foot is we want to keep that foot active in the ground, and we want to try to grip the ground with our feet. So we're in that position. The same thing's true of the conventional, but you're not going to feel it as much as you would with a sumo. Okay? So everything comes neutral. We reach down. Same thing, you can use the mixed grip. You can use the hook grip, doesn't matter. But everything stays neutral. We reach down. We create that tension on the bar, so you find a little clicking noise. Chest comes up, drive, and pull all the way up. Okay? Same thing. Work with partners. Try to find that position. Somebody will be able to watch from the side, somebody will watch from kind of front or back, 45 degrees. 3 to 4 sets of 5 reps. The big thing here is not letting those knees come in. We don't want to be in this position here and like this. And we get like this weird thing going on. Okay? Because if you do this, chances are you're going to do this afterwards. Yep. And you're going to start to fold underneath the weight of that bar. So you push the knees out, and we push, almost like we're going to push our knees back. Chest stays up the whole time. Like I said, for the ladies, it's a little bit easier because you don't have to create as much tension in the lats to keep that lower back safe if you can really drive those legs into the floor and drive the knees out a little bit, okay? So same thing, 3 to 4 sets, 5 reps, all right? Doesn't need to add weight to the bar. Okay?